Hello everyone, welcome to the Red Men TV, it's the LFC Fan Interactive Show. I am Steve Hoare and I am here today to talk to you about tons and tons of stuff. We've got Liverpool being linked with Bennacer, we've got Chief Scout / Sporting Director stuff. What else have we got? We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, we've got Naby Keita, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold seemingly being agent Trent, trying to chat up Jude Bellingham again to Liverpool, and a whole lot more. I'll be over at the subscribe map. There's absolutely tons going on. I'm also going to be answering the questions set by you guys yesterday. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us. If you want to get your comments in throughout the show, please do, and I'll bring some of them on the screen and we'll get yourselves involved in that stuff as well. Before I get into all that though, I am going to be asked yesterday's poll-winning question. You guys apparently voted on something that Chris asked me. We'll find out in a second, but before I do that, I'm going to introduce you to producer Aaron, his first ever time on the show. It's looking very sparkly in there, Aaron. You're tidied up as well.
Tidied up Joe's mess, and hopefully it stays that way for the foreseeable future.
Oh, mate, I'm impressed. Oh, look, Joe, is this you trying to just one-up Joe?
It is, yeah.
I love it.
I've even got a Christmassy in here with some nice lights going on in the background.
Yeah, Kieran in the chat there, he just says, there you go, Aaron is much tidier than Joe, and Kieran is absolutely right. LFC Spectre says, nice one, Aaron, with your disco lights. Christmas lights more than disco lights, but I would go with that. It looks very festive in there, mate. So I believe, although you wasn't on the show yesterday, my mate, that the people voted on a question set. I think they set it and Chris helped. You want to confirm? Well, yeah. What is the question? I'll try and answer it.
Yes,
I'm guessing he stitched me up a little bit because I stitched him up with the Everton kid stuff.
So there was actually 4 options, but this one did win with, I think it was around 50%. Of everyone wanting this question. The question is, do you polish your head?
Question 1, which head? No, okay. Do I polish my head?
I think Chris said he thinks you do.
Chris thinks I polish my head. I wash my head. Does that, like, I use soap every morning on it.
I think the term was polish. I want to know if you get a cloth out and polish that head.
No, I don't use a cloth. I use my hand, and I do moisturise my head as well.
That's close enough. You've
got to, mate, because you get, when you're baldy, you get like dry skin and stuff. And as you can see, this light shining off it there. That is how well moisturised my head is. But yeah, I don't polish it. I don't use a cloth, but I do wash. You know what? I use a sponge / flannel to wash. Like when normal people wash their face, I just keep going a bit further.
Yeah.
And then I do dry and then I do moisturise as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm up to as well. Let's have a little look. Who's this one commenting here? Let's see. LSU Spectre. Steve, do you polish your head? I tell you this, Steve's got a better head than Pep Guardiola. You know what? I'll be honest there, LFC Spectre. Sometimes I'm on the internet and you see people, having a go at Pep. And I think it's really funny. The memes come out and then all the bald memes come out. And I feel like, the Roy Hodgson gif, if it's like, oh, yeah, oh. That's exactly how I feel sometimes, but no, I don't polish my head. Let's have a let's have a little look. Who's this one bringing up? Jason Wilson says, good evening, Steve. Wow, what head? Well, that's to clarify, Jason. These things need to be answered properly. And then that's not very nice. Lee WB, let's have a little look. Call me a slaphead. Not very nice, Lee. Not very nice at all. But yeah, thanks very much for that one, Chris. What I'll be doing, guys, later on in the show, if you stick with us to the end, Paul is on tomorrow's live stream, so you guys can set a few questions that you might want to hear from the gaffer, Paul Machin, and then we'll ask producer Aaron to set up a vote, and you guys can vote on which one you most like, and then Paul will answer it at the top of tomorrow's show. So yeah, thanks very much for getting involved. I'll be over at the subscribe map later, by the way. We spent the day, me, Steve, and Dan, putting pins in that map. Look over there. It's getting more and more populated. There's still more to come, but it's looking a lot busier. But I'll be over there shortly. I've also got my YouTube members map, which I'm going to bring in now. I say map. It's more of a whiteboard. If truth be told, there's no map at all. Let's see that one. There you go. You guys can see it now. So yeah, thanks. In the last day or so, we've had David, Scott, Dan Murphy, and Aaron Lunn all sign up as YouTube members. I don't think it's that Danny Murphy, who used to play for Liverpool and is now an extremely boring BBC commentator. I don't think it's him, but I might be wrong. It might be Danny Murphy. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to get yourselves on that board, like I say, sign up as a YouTube member, you get a couple of perks. One of the perks you get is obviously the use of the emojis, the use of the members chat, and you get one of our Red Men Plus shows on YouTube members as well every Monday. So if you want to get yourselves involved, do that. Right then, I am going to start chatting about some of the news that has come about today. The first one, and I've got to learn how to, I've been practicing this name for the last hour or so. Producer Aaron can testify. I've been doing my pronunciations, and it is Bennacer. That is this guy's name, Bennacer. Liverpool reportedly want Ismael Bennacer, the AC Milan striker. This is from the boot room, but they've taken their report from Italy, obviously translated it for me. It's from Tutto Mercato Web, and if you can't trust Tutto Mercato Web, quite frankly, who can you trust? They say that Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp is waiting in the wings for Ismael Bennacer should the midfielder fail to agree a new contract with AC Milan. He's got a question mark. He's got an extension. His contract runs out in 2024, but he's rejected an extension so far. Goes on to say Liverpool are one of the teams who are interested in him as well. So first of all, guys, if any of you guys know much about Ismael Bennacer and you want to let us know, Ismael Bennacer rather, and want to know, want to talk about him, what you think about him, let me know. I've got a mate who knows a lot about Italian football, and I texted him earlier because I haven't seen too much of him. And he said he's a little bit like Jorginho. He's a defensive midfielder, but he's more a ball-playing defensive midfielder rather than your Claude Makelele type player. He's more of a ball player from deep. I don't know if that's correct. I haven't seen too much of him, but yeah, I do believe that's what the case is. It makes sense, I suppose. Liverpool are going to need a lot of midfield reinforcements. We're going to come to potentially a couple of exits later in the show. Also to AC Milan, funny enough, being linked there. It might be that if they are going to spend big money, and who knows, on a Bellingham or whoever else, Endo Fernandez or insert midfielder who we've been linked with, if they can also get a cut price deal for somebody, perhaps because of a contract situation, and maybe that is something that would appeal to them. Apparently, I'll bring this back up on the screen here. Milan would want around £52 million if the 24-year-old's going to leave. But usually when you see those, that's what they'd want. Very, very rarely does it happen that that is the type of fee you get. Usually if someone wants to go, you don't really get much of a say in it. So yeah, it'd be interesting if Liverpool want to go and spend massive money on a midfielder and maybe look at a free transfer someone else and then get what you'd now call, I know it's mad, 50-odd million quid as a mid-range signing, but that's kind of where we are in the world now. Then maybe Bennacer is the guy for us. Jono in the chat here says Milan aren't getting 50 million for him. No chance. And I tend to agree. If he doesn't sign a new contract and he's desperate to leave, he kind of holds all the cards. Are AC Milan in a position where they're going to just let him walk away for free in 18 months to a year's time? Potentially not. But I do get they're not going to put out there, are they, John, that he's available and you can come and get him for whatever you want. They're just not going to do that. But I'm with you. I do believe that. Let's have a little look at it. Yeah, I do believe rather that they're not going to, it would be less. I agree. They're not going to get that. Board, I think that's it. Bordeaux fan says we need a couple of banger signings to liven things up, but it won't happen. Ye of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith. We'll see what happens. Right then, LFC for life has got a chat here. Any update on the Luis Diaz injury stay? I can confirm this. I was at the AXA training centre around this time last week. Actually, the LFC Foundation had the impact report released, and I can confirm Luis Diaz was there doing work and stuff, and he was in the gym, I think, at the time, and I don't know how he is or in himself, but he was in the gym, and he gave us a little hello. We didn't talk to him much about, but he was doing work, and I can confirm he was doing work in the gym, so I don't know if that means anything to you, maybe, but there we go. Let me hide that one as well. Offer them a Fredo, says Cameron. That'll be worth 50 million quid in a year. Yeah, inflation's getting up a bit, isn't it, Cam? So yeah, you're right. About £2 for a Fredo at this time of recording. Yeah, so yeah, we do. Maybe that's exactly what it is. In terms of, let's see, we've got Bailey. Hello, the Bailey 22. I think that's Jack, isn't it? That come up for me there. Evening, Steve. Are you okay? I'm great, Jack. Thanks very much for asking. I did get called a slaphead earlier in the show, which wasn't great. But other than that, I'm doing all right, my mate. I'm doing absolutely fine. And then Jono says, Stay, have you seen the cryptic Florian? Yeah, plenty goal on his tweets. What do you make of it? I will be talking about that later on. The agent trend stuff with Jude Bellingham. That'll be coming later in the show, so do stick around for that one as well. But yeah, I have seen it, and we will be discussing it very, very shortly. However, the next report also comes from our mate at Pletty Goal, and it is about Sven Mislintat. I think that's how we're going to... Is it Mislintat? Aaron, how do you say it?
Mislintat.
Let's go Mislintat.
Yeah,
let's go with that
enough.
one. Yeah, it's pretty much... We're there or thereabouts, aren't we? And I'll bring this one up an hour for us as well. But yeah, Julian Ward obviously has announced that he's going to be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Liverpool are on the lookout for possible replacements, and I think it was Pletty Goal himself, Florian Plettyberg, who said that Sven Mislintat is a candidate to replace him. I'm going to bring this up on screen. This is Anfield. I've done a little report on it, so I'll bring it up there for you as well. But yeah, he's a candidate to replace Ward as the sporting director in summer 2023. There's been no concrete negotiations yet, but he's open to move to Liverpool. His relationship with Klopp is still brilliant. He worked together at Dortmund between 2008 and 15. Yeah, so it's been announced that Mislintat is going to leave his current role. He is the current sporting director at Stuttgart, but it's been announced that he will be leaving them. So he is obviously available. This one's very, very interesting because I don't know if anyone listened to it, any of our Red Men Plus subscribers or viewers, if you'd have noticed Chris's conversation with Josh Williams, we were talking about the structure, well, they were talking rather about the structure of Liverpool, and usually what happens is a sporting director kind of picks the manager. It looks like here that given Jurgen and his stand at Liverpool Football Club, is Jurgen almost picking his sporting director? Is he picking the man who's going to be above him? Being someone he's worked with in the past, technically a mate, it's weird. It's almost like you choosing kind of your own boss. I'm not sure he's technically in the pecking order. He is Jurgen's boss, but it does seem rather interesting that Jurgen picking his own mate to come above him. I don't know, it does feel a little bit iffy to me. What's interesting is that he actually, and it is on goal.com, there was an interview with Mislintat at Stuttgart actually back in March 21, so it's a little while ago, but it does show you signs of how he thinks of Klopp. Basically, I blindly trust Klopp, he says in his interview. He was basically asked about characters and who's the biggest characters, and I'll scroll down here. He says, of the people I've worked with, it's Klopp, when asked about who are the most impressive characters in football. He goes on to say that he has total trust in Jurgen Klopp, and it was Jurgen Klopp who actually called him at the time to offer him Nat Phillips when it was out there that Stuttgart were looking for a defender to bring in on loan because they had a few defensive issues. They had injuries and they needed someone, and actually Jurgen called up Sven and said basically here's Nat Phillips, and got that deal through. And he said he did trust Nat Phillips, and Nat Phillips actually by all accounts did quite well at Stuttgart, so it looked like there is a relationship between the two men. It's interesting. I'd love you guys to let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this, of Jurgen having a say in this? Should Jurgen have a say? Should this be Liverpool putting somebody in place and saying to Jurgen, you need to get on with this, whoever this person is? Because they're going outside the structure now. Obviously, it was Michael Edwards and Julian Ward were the structure, or part of the structure. Liverpool look like they're going external. What do you guys think about that? I'm iffy with it. I'm not completely sure, to be honest with you. But yeah, I do. It is a bit. It's odd. It's quite odd, to be honest with you. Let's have a little look. Who else? So Paul Smith. Shout out to Paul, who says, I want Lewis Kampoff, Christoph Freund, Michael Zorc, Paul Mitchell. So one of those guys. So he hasn't mentioned our mate Sven here. Now, Arsenal fans, again, I was doing a bit of social media browsing earlier, and apparently he was involved in as Scott says, 2009 does feel like it does, Scott, it was a long time ago. In terms of like the scouting that Sven did, and he apparently he was involved in bringing some pretty dodgy players to Arsenal, which isn't. I think he was part. I think I saw the Leno, the Socrates, and the Mkhitaryan deals, which would all make sense given his background in and around that football, but apparently he was involved in it, and I don't think any of those really worked out for Arsenal. So I don't think it's quite worked out for him as a scout, but like I say, it'd be interesting to see who does get that job. It's a massive job. I'll bring Scott's message back up again. I like Jurgen and his man. They'll both be on the same page. Hopefully he knows what he's doing. Like I say, it does feel like Liverpool are very much putting all their eggs in the Jurgen Klopp basket. And I can understand why. And this often happens actually at football clubs. The longer a manager's there, the more power he tends to get, the more say he gets. And that's completely understandable. Jurgen Klopp has earned the right to do whatever the friggin' hell he wants. Within reason, of course. But like he is the main man around this. And if it keeps him happy, I get the point of it. The flip side is, I don't think you're future-proofing yourself very well. You are very much saying this is a Jurgen Klopp-centric team and structure now. And then when he leaves, you build the structure again. Because we kind of saw this with Alex Ferguson. at Manchester United. Maybe we mentioned Arsene Wenger earlier, maybe Arsene Wenger as well. That when you become the structure, when you leave, it can all crumble. But like I say, there's pros and cons too. If we can win a couple of more titles and trophies, then I'm sure we'll all be completely fine with it. Danny, shout out to Danny Harty-Smith. Danny does the modern on our watch-alongs. Excellent. I love Danny to bits. He says, I'm not a fan of Klopp having control over everything. Personally, that's what you have a team for. You have the experts around you to help you do your job. And yeah, I think I'm more in that say, if I'm honest, Danny. I would quite like. But then again, do we trust the people above? We know Mike Gordon's now stepped away and like Billy Hogan's involved more. Do we trust those guys to be able to go and find the best directors, sporting directors? I don't know. Like FSG, excuse me, I've had like a lot of issues. I think it's fair to say they've done quite a lot right at Liverpool, and they've got quite a bit wrong as well. I think, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this, Aaron, because I know you're a big Red as well. Like, one thing we can say about FSG is that more often than not, mate, they've got the hiring of the people right. You know, you look at your Edwards and your Klopp. It took a while to get there, but recently, you know, like all the data team, Ian Graham, it does feel like FSG. One thing you can say they're really good at is identifying and hiring the best people. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, in the past they've definitely got it right. I think someone was saying on one of the podcasts earlier in the week that they might be a bit concerned now as to what the shift is in the club. There's a lot of changes coming at the exact same time. Do they know something we kind of don't? Obviously, we know FSG are planning on selling, but do these people within the club know the Klopp's effectively going to get full control over everything, which some people will like, some people won't.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And I suppose, like, and Ali makes a good point, and it is really one to, like, FSG are leaving, and that's another, it's a massive part, as you are right. Who is actually going to be in charge when Liverpool, when Julian Ward leaves? Are Liverpool actually going to be owned by FSG? Because that's the thing here. It's been announced, you know, it might not take years, but it could take a long time. FSG might not even end up selling Liverpool. So do they have to hire someone now? Are they going to hold on to see how when a sale's done, and then if it gets to, say, Easter time and they haven't sold the club, then they make a decision? Because a new owner's going to come in and want their own man, and then whoever's in charge, it's all messy. It is a bit messy. So I do see the point in that. It is a strange one, but yeah, we'll see how it pans out. But I do agree. It is a little bit iffy. Steve Plunk, one of our Red Men top men. Hello, Steve. Yeah, hopefully you're doing some marketing as well, Steve, while you're here. Might as well do it for us, pal. Rafa wanted and got full control, and it didn't end well. In my opinion, it needs to be split back with the specialists. Yeah, I think I would tend to agree, mate. I do think I would tend to agree. Right then, moving on from that one, because again, it was a really interesting one. That was more about incomings per se, and maybe additions to the club. There's been talks today in Italy that 2 Liverpool players who might be available for free at the end of the season, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita, as it stands, both are going to be out of contract. This article I'm going to bring up is via Team Talk, but again, they've translated from reports in Italy. AC Milan are one of the clubs interested in signing Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita. Like I say, already both of them are on the lookout for new clubs. As it stands, they're going to be out of contract. And like I say, it was Calcio Mercato again who said the pair have emerged onto the radar of Serie A champions AC Milan. Now, AC Milan have already come to Liverpool and took someone on a free contract recently in Divock Origi. And by all accounts, I haven't seen too much of Serie A football, I'll be honest, this year. But I don't think Divock's actually been pulling up trees there. But this is where Liverpool, I think, have kind of let themselves down a little bit. We are losing, as it stands, 3 midfielders and a striker in Roberto Firmino and James Milner, to the 2 guys we're talking about, on free contracts. That isn't great business. Again, maybe it is. Maybe they've just decided that's the new way they're going to do it. We're going to buy a player and we're going to let him see out his contract, and then we'll see where we're at. But it does feel like that you're leaving a lot of transfer money on the table if those 4 players all walk out the door for nothing. It sounds like the noises are Firmino might get a new deal. We've heard nothing about James Milner, but I'll be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if we kept Milner around for another season. It wouldn't surprise me. I'd be hugely shocked if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain got a new contract. And Naby's an interesting one. He's the very, very, very interesting one in that. I don't think anyone. There are doubts about Naby to an extent, but I think a lot of them are availability. Like, he's always injured. When he plays, you know, his record and his stats, Liverpool win more games. You know, when Naby Keita plays, the stats bear that out. You know, the points per game is ridiculously high when Naby plays. He just doesn't play often enough, and he's always injured. And I think that's the one. It's going to be really, really difficult to find out a ground for a contract. I don't think Naby and his agent can walk to Liverpool and say, I want a pay rise on what I was on last time, because I don't think he's earned it. I don't think it's disrespectful, I think, to maybe ask him to take less. I don't know what kind of contract you give him, who wants him. There's been rumours of discontent as well, and injury. It's just been a bit messy with him. But yeah, it does. It is. I think it's an odd one, and Scott, it looks like, agrees with me. It is a bit worrisome that all these players are out of contract, and yeah, it is, Scott. It is. It's just, it hasn't worked out particularly well for Liverpool for a whole host of reasons, really. I'll be honest. If you're AC Milan, I can see why you're taking a gamble. I can see why wouldn't you have a little go at it. Whether Oxlade-Chamberlain would be interested in the move to Italy, whether Naby Keita would be interested in the move to Italy, I don't know. Obviously, Ox has got a young family here and stuff like that, but we don't know what other clubs are interested in both of them. Naby's been linked with Italy, and returns to Germany as well. But yeah, it's an interesting one. We've got one from Motasar Ali, who says Ox and Naby Keita should be paid based on the games they play because they're stealing a living. And I don't think any player will settle for a pay-per-play deal, because why would you? If you're a player, you might as well go and earn your money. Fair play to you, go and do it. But yeah, the frustrating thing is they just aren't available enough. And then Quad Bod says that AC Milan putting together some kind of football sanctuary like where donkeys go when they're knackered. It does feel like AC Milan are taking a lot of injured players off the Reds there. It is a risk for them. And then Andy Byrne, and let me just go back up to that one, said I'll pay for Naby and Ox's taxis. Andy's had enough of both of them.
I'll chip in on that as well.
Go on, mate.
No, I would chip in for his taxi fare as well.
Oh, producer Aaron would also get involved. For which one, both? One or the other? Or
At this point, both of them.
So Andy can all go. See you later, lads. There you go. Then there's that one. I've got another comment here. Is it Mike? Yeah, Mike. He says about as we were speaking about Roberto Firmino and his contract stuff. It feels like time for Bobby to have one last payday, and we wouldn't have gotten much. We wouldn't have gotten much for any apart from maybe Keita, even if they had a contract. See, we were not on for Milner. I agree. I think you could have got 5 to 10 million quid for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You'd have got 20 odd million at least, I think, for Naby, maybe even more from a side in Germany. But like you say, by the time you sign them down and wages, I do understand your point there, Mike. But yeah, and with you, LFC Spectre's got a great idea. Try and con AC Milan. Swap deal for Rafaelino for Ox and Keita. I'll be honest, I don't think AC Milan are going to give away a player for two lads who he can get for free. Literally talk to them and get them for nothing. And then Bjorn says Ox will move into the TV business. I think it's too young for all. He's not even that old to retire yet, but maybe at one point, I'm sure he'll be a presenter. Yeah, maybe down the line, but I still think he's going to be playing. And then Wayne, I hope Milner stays on as a coach, maybe 18s or 21s. I think Liverpool would love to have James Milner around the place. I don't think it depends if James Milner wants to stop playing. It could be that Liverpool might just sign down to another contract, similar to what he did this summer, where it was just on way less money. I know we had to play more this season because everyone was injured, but I think Liverpool would like to keep him around for what, and then just have him about. But I'm with you. I think it'd be a shame to let him out the door in terms of what he offers everything. AJ, I've not heard great things about Sven Mislintat. Wasn't he the guy who bought Mustafi and Kolasinac? I think he was. The Arsenal fans were pretty much he was the chief scout, so that's different. He isn't actually the man having the say, but he was involved in the scouting. I think it's a different role at Arsenal, because ultimately they didn't really have this model until fairly recently. Now Edu was in there for them. But yeah, he was involved in scouting some very players. LFC Spectre, Steve is worried about Ox maybe getting his job. Imagine if Ox come and worked here and took my job. Yeah, that would be disappointing actually. But to be fair, he's not going to take Paul and Chris's job because they're the bosses. He's not going to take Chloe's job because Chloe's better than me at all this stuff. So yeah, I will be the one on the chopping block. So yeah, so fair enough. Yeah, I am. Don't come here, Ox. Go and play for West Ham for a bit or something, my mate. Yeah, yeah. Go. Don't come and take it. Yeah. Jono says that those two were signed, by the way, before they got there. I think, by the way, AJ, he was more involved in the deal. Like I said before, I think it was Leno, Socrates, and I think maybe Mkhitaryan as well. I think they were the deals that he was involved in, from what I saw earlier on around the internet. But yeah, let's have a little look. Mike, Yes, Mike. I'll unsub if they take Steve. Fact, there you go. You can't sack me now, lad. You're going to lose Mike's subs. You can't get rid of me. I'm here to stay. And yeah, quad bod, hashtag save Steve. I didn't even need say apparently I need a saver now. I didn't realise I did, but yeah, apparently I do. Although Scott disagrees. Ox in. Fuck you, Scott. Fuck you. Right then, moving on. I am going to be making my way over to the subscribe board very, very shortly to start sticking more pins in more maps and testing my geography knowledge with our latest Redmen Plus subscribers. Before I do that, I want to give you guys some information about the competition we're running. The competition ends tonight, well, today/tomorrow, so if you want to get involved, you better be quick. So yeah, check out what amazing prize you can win, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. See you in a sec.
Welcome. Do you like Boss Liverpool signed memorabilia? Well, you're going to love being a club legend on redmenplus.com. Whether you're an existing club captain or fresh and new to the whole concept of our extra streaming service, if you join or upgrade to Club Legend, you're automatically entered into this month's prize draw for this wonderful signed Liverpool retro top, signed by Bruce Grobbelaar and by Ronnie Whelan as well. Two legends of the club, two men who won everything for Liverpool Football Club, and you can get them and their signatures signed on that wonderful vintage Liverpool home shirt sent to you. So yes, head to redmenplus.com, or if you're there already, upgrade your subscription and get your name in the prize draw.
Right, there you go. Get involved. Yeah, redmenplus.com. Sign up as a Club Legend. Tomorrow, live on this very show, Paul will do the draw. Whoever wins, one of our Club Legends, he'll spin the wheel. One of us will win that amazing prize signed by two Liverpool European Cup winners, two absolute icons of Liverpool Football Club there. So yeah, if you want to get involved, like I say, redmenplus.com, sign up as a Club Legend, get in that competition, and also you'll get your pin in the board that I'm going to be going to very, very shortly. CZ Red, Chris made a good point. Will Perry be on Redmen TV 2? Because if so, sorry, Steve, yeah, I don't blame you, to be honest with you. I understand that as well. She makes absolute bangers music-wise. I'm guessing that's what you're thinking of, mate. Chris Pajak says, hi, everyone. I've just come in to tell you that Lawrence Sinamapongol wasn't a left winger. Yeah, LFC draft me versus Chris today. I picked Florence Sinamapongol. Spoiler alert. Go and watch it. That's on Redmen Plus as well. We were picking players who played between 1 and 50 games for Liverpool. And I liked Florence Sinamapongol. I think it's because I met him a few weeks ago when he was bald, and he complimented me on being bald. And I think I just liked him a little bit. So I put him in my team, and apparently that was a really bad selection. So if you want to go and watch the whole show again, it's on redmenplus.com. And basically, Chris thinks he's won me this time. I think I disagree. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, let's have a little look. Scott, I'll sign the Save Steve petition if you select me to win the competition. I can't fix the competition, Scott. I'm not going to be on it. And also, stop trying to suck up to me after you've just insulted me before. It's not going to work, pal. It's not going to work. Right then, Aaron, are we ready? You're going to have to help me with my geography knowledge as I make my way. Let's see if I can time this up to perfection. Over there. Yes, that work? Not sure it did. Right then, let's go to the board. As you guys can tell, when I get over there, let's go. Let's not kick that light over like I usually do. Oh. Yep, there we go. Look at the board. It's just loads of pins in it. Loads and loads of pins. I think we might have misjudged how many subscribers we've got on the east coast of the USA, because we've had to bunch a lot of that up there. We might have maybe overestimated the Africa/Eastern European Russian area. If any of you happen to be watching, are you allowed to watch it? I don't even know. If you want to come and subscribe, we could do with some pins in this general area and Africa as well. Shout out to the one South American we've got so far. Like I say, this isn't everyone who subscribed to Redmen Plus yet. If you're watching this and you're a Redmen Plus subscriber, if you're a Club Legend, go and let us know in the Discord chat in the Where Are You section where you're from, basically, if you haven't already. If you signed up recently, you should be on here by now. If you're a club captain who you've been around for a long, long time, go and check your emails, check your spam folders just in case it's in there. I have emailed you, contacting you, asking where you're from, basically. Reply to that. and get yourself a pin on this board. Me, Steve and Dan done a lot of hard work putting these all in today. As you can see, where we live is very busy around London. Shout out to Dublin and the Irish area. Got a couple in Europe. Shout out to Melbourne. We had quite a few in Melbourne. I saw the videos, by the way. Congratulations, Australian fans, if you're watching this. I know it's mad o'clock in the morning, but loads of you are still up celebrating the World Cup stuff. So, yeah, you want to get yourselves involved. I'm going to stick 5 more pins in this board. The first one is a club captain, green pin. Lord Jotunheim, nice name. He's in Horten in Norway. This is Norway?
Yep. Slightly to your left. If you move your hand in between the 2 green pins, pretty much.
Sort of here?
Yeah, below Oslo, but not right on the coast.
There we go then, there, sorry. That's tough to get in. So shout out to Lord Jotunheim. Nice name. We've got another club captain who's Callum. Callum Buck. Shout out to Callum. Callum's in Liverpool. Okay. Okay, Callum. I'm going to have to just try and wrestle. You might be in the sea, Callum, but you get the point. You are in the Irish Sea, mate, but that's the best I could do. Sorry. There. The next one, shout out to Harry, who's in, let me see if I can, Irish pronunciations always do me.
This is a tough one, this one.
Inishbofin? I don't know. I don't know where this is, Aaron. I know where Ireland is.
It's an island off Ireland.
An island off Ireland. That's Britain, Aaron.
Yeah.
No?
No.
This side?
Yeah, on the west coast.
Is it here? This island?
Bit lower down.
This island?
Bit further up. You're not going to see it on the map. See the little part that sticks out just further up?
There?
Yeah, kind of just off there.
Around here?
Yeah.
If that's wrong, blame Aaron, by the way, people in Inishbofin. Inishbofin. I'll just say that, I don't even know. Ron is in Colchester. Okay. That's over here, isn't it, Aaron, like this area?
It's pretty much
there,
just above that yellow pin that's already where your hand is.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that one actually might have been someone else in Colchester. Thank you very much to Ron. I have done Harry at this service. Oh, God, it should be a yellow pin. Harry signed up as a club legend. I apologise, Harry, you deserve a pin there. A yellow pin, a special yellow pin. I do apologise, mate. And the last one is Joey 101, is in Ottawa, Canada. Oh, God.
So,
Canada's massive.
Do you know where Toronto is?
Here-ish.
Yeah. Hang on. We've got to get this one right.
I think that's Toronto round here. North.
It's kind of, go to New York and go directly upwards, and that is where Ottawa is.
Here?
Yeah, maybe a bit further right and a bit further down.
Towards this lake?
Yeah.
Around here?
Yeah.
Let's go there.
That is
yeah?
probably as close as we are going to get.
I don't feel that doesn't inspire me with confidence. I'll be honest.
Someone suggested we should start saying warmer or colder, rather than give directions.
Okay, that's that. We'll be here all day.
We'll do that for the next show.
All day. Right then, there you go. 5 new legends / captains on the board. If you want to get a pin where you live, I would love to get somebody in Africa. If you're watching this and you're in Africa, please do sign up to redmenplus.com and get. We need a pin in Africa. We haven't got any. Where else? Alaska. Alaska. I want some Alaskans.
We've also got one person in South America.
As it stands, we've got one guy who's in Chile. Shout out to our mate in Chile. I'm sure there's more of you. Get involved, like I said, get yourselves on this board. We'll put a little video to show you the chaos that happened when me, Steve and Dan did this. Spoiler alert, Steve dropped all the pins everywhere. It was a nightmare. It wasn't great. But yeah, we got there in the end. There's plenty more to come. There's like literally thousands more pins. At some point we're going to stick into this board. But I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to go back over that way. So yeah, come with me for a little journey through the studio. Over light number 1. Woohoo! Over like around like number 2 and sit right back down again. Seamless. Thank you very much indeed. Right then, what have I missed? What have I missed indeed? Dan Club is in the chat. Those darn greens. Yeah, Dan was in charge of the green pins today. I think you've done a very good job there, mate. Quad Bod is right. Africa is looking very light on subs, yeah. There must be some Mo Salah fans in Egypt. who have subscribed to Red Men Plus. If you have already, let us know. If you haven't and you're in those areas, then I need you to get involved. Africa's looking very, very bad there for us. We need more in there. Absolutely. What a catwalk stay. Yeah, I did... you've either got it or you haven't, LSC Spectre. You've either got it or you haven't, pal. Right then. Matthew, I'm watching in the south of France. Wrong one. There we go. Matthew is watching from the south of France. Are you subscribed, Matthew, to Red Men Plus? If you're not, get involved and I'll put your pin on south of France. It was mad today. We found out that... Can you go back to that board a second, please, Scott? If you look below the UK, you can't really see it on there, but like the Isle of Wight is on there, but Jersey isn't. So technically, those two just on the north of France there, they're actually people in Jersey who we just missed off the UK. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know whether to put them below the UK or put them north of France. We decided to go north of France because it is very, very close there. So I do apologise again to some of those people who we just missed off the map, basically. We kind of did just like Malta. Matthew is a subscriber. Email me, Matthew. Go and check your emails. If you haven't already, email me and let me know exactly where in France you are. And I'll put your pin on it. I'll get Paul to do it tomorrow, in fact, if that is the case. Right then, where are we? I am up to another transfer story because, of course, I am. This one's interesting. Aaron, I do apologise, Aaron. Come back to your room, by the way, Aaron, because I can tell you how it's not Joe, because look how tidy this room is. If it was Joe, it would be quite the mess. Yeah.
I have tidied up today.
This is what happens when you hire new staff.
People have noticed in the comments.
Yeah, mate, you've done a really good job. This is what happens when you hire new staff. I think old staff get lazy. I think new staff, try and impress a little bit and work it out. So Joe, shame on you, and shout out to Aaron. Right then, mate. I've done my pronunciation homework again on this one. Gavaridal. There we go. Josko Gavaridal. I learned that. There's a YouTube video that tells you how to say his name. That I did it before. Basically, he's Croatia's centre-back. He's been playing alongside Degzi Lovren. Did I call you Scott before as well?
You did.
Oh, sorry, Aaron. I do apologise.
Right. I thought there was a new producer, but no, yeah.
Let's have a look at this. Aaron. Dan just said, he apologised for calling him Joe, but not Scott. I've got a thing with bad names. I was calling Amber, who's recently started with us. I called her Abby for a day yesterday. It was very embarrassing. I do apologise. Maybe I'm getting old in my old days. Yeah, not great. Aaron, there you go. Aaron, is there police pointing guns and tasers through your window, pal? About that? Is someone got a hit on you? Says Jason.
No, this was meant to be quite festive, but I've soon realised it's more of a disco, isn't it?
It is quite festive, the festive colours, but it does. I can see the point now. It does look a little bit like you've got like loads of snipers making trying to take you out.
I can see that.
Yeah, it does look like that indeed. Right then, back to our mate Gavaridal. I do apologise for getting the wrong name again. I've got this lad's right name right. I've got a tweet up from Empire of the Cop because they've basically translated this interview. He's done an interview with Croatian media. He's been linked with a move to Chelsea, but he said, since I was a little boy, my dad and I watched Liverpool matches, and I grew up with only them. When I took football more seriously, I started following them, and I definitely want the Premier League and Liverpool. First of all, interesting way when Chelsea are clearly interested in getting you to do that one. Yeah, I want to go and play for Liverpool. On this one, he's obviously playing centre-half alongside Dejan Lovren in the World Cup. If anyone doesn't know who he is, and if you have watched Croatia, he's the fellow with the mask on, because he suffered a facial injury. I'm going to bring this back up on the screen again. You can see him. There's a picture of him here, like kind of swinging off the crossbar, looking a little bit like a wrestler. But that is him there. Yeah, he's got his mask on because of the facial injury. He's only 20 years old. RB Leipzig. And my question to you guys, and please do get involved in the comments here, is that if Liverpool signed a 20-year-old, my comment is like, does this mean maybe Joe Gomez? I'm not saying Liverpool are interested, but look like he's interested in Liverpool. Is there value in signing a 20-year-old and maybe letting Joe Gomez go? Maybe, I don't like, I mean, there's money to be made. Perhaps I know Joe's only just signed a new contract. Maybe that's not the case, but let's have a little look. Surav, I don't want any Croatian centre-back at the club again. Surav, listen. Don't let a couple of bad Dejan Lovren performances ruin your life. Liverpool have had players from certain countries who failed and players from certain countries who've done better. That is nowhere, isn't it? Just because that's where he's from doesn't mean it's always going to be bad. Liverpool, just because they had Kyriakos from Greece doesn't mean he couldn't have signed another Greek, and he did, and now he's a left back and he's dead good. So don't tar everyone with the same brush. Shout out to Dan. I'll take him like a shot. Nat Phillips can go, and you can't trust Matip for a full season. And on Gomez, who knows? Yeah, listen, if Nat Phillips... We've been writing Nat Phillips off for years, and he's been here for ages. He's been out here for absolutely ages. But yeah, at some point, he's probably going to leave. Maybe go to Stuttgart again. I don't know if our mate Sven maybe sends him back to where he's from. But it's just interesting that there's a 20-year-old international defender out there basically saying, come and get me, Liverpool. Do you go and get him? That's the question. Do you go and get him? I do agree. Do you need 5 centre-halves? Can you trust Joel Matip? Do you bring him in maybe as a... You can bring him in. He's 20, bring him in, loan him out for a season, and then when Joel's ready to go, you've got another replacement, because we've got one in Ibu Konate. He was excellent. I know France lost today, but we watched a bit of that game, and he was excellent once again for France. It should be Konate and Joe Gomez should be the Liverpool centre-back partnership of the future, as when Virgil van Dijk eventually isn't playing no more and Joel Matip's in the same boat. I think, again, who knows how careers pan out, but as it stands, it's only really Ibu I think I'd be completely comfortable right now. When Joe Gomez plays like he played against Manchester City, he's unbelievable. But it's too much up and downs with Joey Gomez. So there's an option there for a 20-year-old lad who clearly loves the club and wants to come here. Maybe because he loves us that much, he'd be happy to sit on the bench for a little bit. Is it worth just saying, you know what, absolutely go and get him? Let's have a look at this one. If the dude wants to play for Liverpool, play out a contract and come to us on a free, lad, says Tarek, yeah, and then stay, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? And then stay O'Hare. He's played a lot at right back too. He could provide cover for Trent if Ramsey isn't up to much. And also, that's the thing, isn't it, Steve, that if Gomez ever did leave for whatever reason, you've kind of got someone who can do both roles as well. But yeah, going back to earlier, your opinion is weird, champ. That's a nice username. Says, all I know about Bennacer is that he has a banging card on FIFA. I think that's a good thing. Aaron, do you play FIFA?
I used to.
Same.
I don't anymore, so... We can't really comment on that.
Chloe's the FIFA expert in this office. Chloe plays a lot of FIFA. I'll get her opinion on that as well, yeah. But I was speaking to a couple of my mates who play FIFA, and apparently there's a Joe Cole card out there at the moment, and that's a really good card to have. So I wouldn't trust that FIFA cards at the moment, know what they're talking about completely. Jono says, how do you not play FIFA? I've got 2 kids, is basically half the answer, Jono. And I'm here right now talking to you guys. I work too much. Yeah, I don't even have a console anymore. But you guys all know James Alcott. I'm sure you do. He's been doing loads of World Cup stuff. He has my PlayStation. I gave my PlayStation to him a long time ago. He has my PlayStation. So yeah, that's what it is. We've got a Nintendo Switch in our house, and we play Mario Kart, me and my 8-year-old lad. And Just Dance. They're the 2 games that are often on in my household. Yeah, so there's no FIFA getting played, pal. There's no FIFA getting played. Aaron, do you play PES now? Asks LFC Spectra. Do you play anything?
I play Football Manager, but I have never signed Bennacer, so can't comment on him on Football Manager either, unfortunately.
Oh, God. Yeah, LFC Spectra, Just Dance now. That's more my son, mate, who plays that game. I'm not a dancer. I'm a lover, but I'm not a dancer. Chris Pajak is the dancer. If any of you saw the clips from our our live event a few weeks ago, you'll see Pajak has the moves in this office. I am not the dancer. Paul does a little bit. He likes doing the Daniel Sturridge dance. He done that on the internet once, didn't he? Paul's a decent dancer. Pajak's the best dancer. David Anon, who is Julian Ward's replacement? We don't know. We don't know Julian. There was a link. Go back in the show later. You'll see when we were talking about Sven Mislintat. Apparently, he's one of the names who Liverpool have got up their sleeve or maybe on their radar. He's my boy. You hate when Steve keeps trying to get rid. Yeah, sorry about that, Danny. You're talking about Joe Gomez there. I'm not trying to get rid of him. I'm just talking about him. I'm happy. I'm more like for Joe Gomez to be Liverpool's 4th choice centre half. I'm absolutely fine with it. Can we see a Red Men TV competition for his GIF Just Dance between the Red Men staff? Aaron, you haven't been here long, but who do you think would win a dance competition out of all the staff here? Are you a dancer?
I am most definitely not a dancer, but I did see the video from when you were in town the other week, and I think Chris got up on stage starting dancing at one point, so I'd have to put my money on him.
Pajak he's a good dancer. Chris has got rhythm. Yeah, he's got junk in the trunk and he knows how to use it as well. He backs it up a lot. Which Pajak I think is very, very good. I haven't really seen anyone else do probably too much dancing really. I think Charlie would be good at it. I think Charlie would be very good at it. I'm not really sure about anyone else, to be honest with you. Who do you think would be the worst? I think I'm in this conversation.
I would also be in that conversation.
And I think Steve Plunk would be in this conversation.
Maybe everyone else.
I can't see Tom being much of a dancer.
Joe's in the chat. See if Joe has any say on this.
I don't think Joe can dance either.
I'm probably with you.
Chloe, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think. I think it would be. Chris would win. I think Charlie would probably be his competition. Errol would have moves, says Quadbod. Errol would. I think Errol can dance. I know for a fact Errol can dance. Actually, Errol's a very good dancer. He might be the actual right answer. Errol literally is a very good dancer. Yeah, you are right there. Right then, let's move on to some actual more football stuff then. I said actual football stuff. It's a bit more tongue-in-cheek stuff, but we referenced it earlier. Agent Trent doing the Lord's work. Stroll in the city with my bro, Jude Bellingham. This was the tweet that our mate Pletty Goal earlier replied the Agent Trent tweet to. I'll find that for you in a second. But yeah, Trent and Jude Bellingham going out for walks over at the World Cup. And it set the internet alight. There's lots of comments on these kind of things. Everybody's gone for it, of course. It does. Listen, either Trent and Jude Bellingham are just having the biggest joke of their lives. They know exactly how that was going to be taken. I think we all knew what was going to be said for that one. It is just social media, of course. But yeah, Agent Trent doing the Lord's work. Hopefully tapping up Jude Bellingham. So Jordan Henderson doing the same. Spending a lot of time with him too. Here we go. Where is it? Arme Pletty Goal. Where's his tweet? He done it before. Yeah, it was the...
I think it was a reply to...
I've got this one here. I've got the hourglass, basically. LFC Transfer Room put the tweet up about Arme Pletty Goal. Replied that. So obviously LFC Transfer Room Agent Trent keeps working hard on his assignment, and Pletty Goal simply give it the hourglass. Arme Pletty Goal is getting his name about there, isn't he? He did double down on what he had to say about it as well. He didn't just go hourglass emoji or eyes emoji, which we know is the ITK / emoji of choice. He also give it, as reports, Liverpool's doing everything, and Klopp is pushing a lot. Internal saying Bellingham is first and Caicedo is an alternative. Liverpool are highly rated by the player, but nothing is decided because Liverpool won't play any price, and Dortmund expects between 100 and 150 million euros. But yeah, Agent Trent doing his best life. Jono. In all seriousness, if Trent isn't talking to you about LFC, then Klopp needs to slap him in the head. Rashford admitted he tapped up Sancho on England camps. He did. There's talk of Gary Neville tried to tap Steven Gerrard up once as well when they were away with England. I hope that is exactly what's happening. Ian Doyle apparently has said LFC will freeze up sizable funds to get Bellingham. Another fellow boardman, Ian Doyle. I'm sure Ian's information is absolutely spot on. Got a chat from DD. Do you think Liverpool will get Bennacer? I don't know. Maybe. Do you think... That's more important. What do you think? Do you think we will sign Bennacer? It doesn't matter what I think. I want to know what you guys think as well. Yeah, Trent gets an assist again. If Liverpool sign Jude Bellingham, does Trent get another assist? So I think we give him that one. I think we give him that one at all. And then is that Ross? Mr. Ross? Mr. Ross, 504. Enzo Fernandez from Benfica needs to be the backup. We don't get Bellingham. I watched him tonight. Actually, me and Adam were watching him closely, weren't we, Aaron? And it was first time we thought he didn't have his best game.
No,
it was his debut, and it was a hard game. But yeah, I have liked him in the past, but he kind of dropped a stinker tonight. We were watching him earlier in the office. Adam was eating a nice healthy spaghetti bolognese. I was eating a Just Eat delivery that was less than healthy. Let's put it that way. Right then, Jiff's got a comment on Jude Bellingham. Shout out, Jiff. I'm convinced that we're Bellingham's first choice. It's just whether we can do enough to meet the Dortmund asking price. I feel the same way. I think he would like to come to Liverpool. I think it all depends on top four. I don't think he would want to join us if we're not in the Champions League. But I do think all the noise and there's not a lot of smoke without fire. But finances talk. Will Manchester City come in with a bigger money for Dortmund and more wages? Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain. There's all these teams who just can't at the moment blow Liverpool out of the water. So it remains to be seen whether they can. But I'm with you. I think you're right there, Jeff. I think if you ask Jude Bellingham hand on heart, he would like to come to Liverpool. But that isn't always up to him, is it? There's other people involved in this kind of stuff. Right then, next up is this is a little story. Speaking of ownership and stuff, I wanted to bring this one to your attention because I thought it was interesting. If anyone watched the podcast, me, Paul, and Chris had a big old debate about like FSG and the valuation of Liverpool and Man United being up for sale and how does that impact things and all this kind of stuff as well. There's been a report from Football Insider. I think it's from Adam Williams, who's their finance and governance correspondent. That's a very posh title you've got there, Mr. Williams. It's kind of like me being the head of operations. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just a title. But anyway, prospective Liverpool investors have been made aware that the Premier League's domestic broadcast rights could fall in value by as much as £750 million ahead of the next rights cycle. Sources have told Football Insider. Liverpool pocketed an estimated £162.3 million in media income in 21-22, projected to announce total revenue of over £600 million for that campaign. But a source based at a research consultancy firm told Football Insider interested parties have been made aware that TV rights are likely to wane in the next 3 years. The current deal, which was agreed with Sky, BT Sports and Amazon, is worth $5.1 billion and runs to the close of the 2024-25 season. So basically, the pandemic is being blamed for the fact that all these companies just might simply not have enough money to outbid that one. The last overseas rights were $5.3 billion. That might go up, but there's talk that basically the DVD deal could go down. I just want to bring this one up because if someone's coming into Liverpool and they're coming to do it from a making money standpoint, if the deal's going down and Liverpool are going to get less of a pot, it's going to be like almost £750 million less pot or something stupid to share out over the course of that deal. Then if Liverpool are going to get less of it, does that maybe put buyers off? Is that potentially a reason why FSG and the Glazers have decided now is a good time to get out before those new deals start? Because I was thinking, and I suppose maybe naively, I thought it might go up because I thought there might be some scope for like clubs to sell their own rights a little bit and get involved. It doesn't look like that's coming anytime soon. I don't know, but I think that's at one point where they might be getting towards, or some type of NFL Game Pass is a thing where you can pay X amount a year and you can watch any game at any time, except the ones that are blacked out because Sky have bought them in the UK or wherever you're from. Do a blackout. I wondered if that was on the horizon, but apparently not. But I don't know if you guys, what you guys think about it. And you're right. We've got a comment here. I think it's Mika again. Sorry, I think I said Mike before. Is it Mika? I can't really see how my eyesight's bad, isn't it? It doesn't surprise me, though. The viewing figures for BT and Sky Sports are right down. The price of energy and food is going sky high and something's got to give, yeah. I imagine I don't know this for a fact, but like cost of living and people paying for these things. I know BT are already giving up their Champions League rights soon. They're just not going to be bothering. There's talk that they might just jib off BT Sports altogether at some point and just get away from it because it is a sunk cost at this point in time. So, yeah, it is an interesting time, the whole media stuff, but yeah, that would certainly have an impact, I think, on buyers, not just Liverpool, but of Man United and things like that as well. Mika, you're right. Thanks for clarifying saying it is Mika, sorry. And LFC Spectre says, I hear BT Sport don't even want the Premier League rights. Yeah, apparently they are moving away in UK from it. There's no money in it for them, basically. It was like a sunk cost, like I say before. Let's have a little look who else we've got in there. We've got Bliss who said this. It would be good news if this happened. Yeah, would it? Maybe. I hope this is what you're talking about. But yeah, it's one of those. I just thought it was an interesting talking point. Just because, like I say, if we are trying to attract ourselves to other teams and other buyers and that kind of stuff, a decrease in a revenue stream is never ideal. Lewis Morsley, BT's rights might get bought by DAZN. Apparently, I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I know DAZN do a lot. They do Canada's rights, I think, and a lot of others. I have DAZN at home for boxing, or I did have when they had all the good fights on. But yeah, so they've certainly got it. And Amazon, like I say, Amazon want some Premier League TV rights as well. So they've already got some, but yet they might want a bigger piece of the pie. Right then, going back to the Jude Bellingham chat before, thanks very much to Jono getting involved. I don't think one season at the Champions League would stop Jude from joining us. He knows if he signs with us, we'd be straight back to Champions League the following season. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, like, financially for us, Jono, But B, I'm not sure. I think all top players want to play in the Champions League. He could even wait at Dortmund for another year and see what happens then. He's not in no rush to go from his point of view. But like Mika says, we'll get top 4 easily, and then this won't even be an issue. I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you're all right. We'll have a better second half to the season than the first half we had. That is for sure. Right then, yesterday, apparently, there was you guys sent in questions, and it ends up with me getting asked to polish my head. Great, fantastic. Can you type in the comment section in the chat now, if you're on Discord or you're in the YouTube comment section in the chat, live chat? What questions could we ask Paul Machin? Let us know over the next couple of minutes, yeah. And then we'll get producer Aaron, not producer Scott or producer Joe. It's definitely producer Aaron. We'll get producer Aaron to put a poll out. We'll do a little vote, and whatever one wins, we'll make sure we ask Paul at the top of tomorrow's show. So if there's anything you guys want, you've ever wanted to ask Paul Machin, start putting them in there now, and we'll get through it. So the first one there from Lewis Mosley: how much was Paul's hair transplant? Aaron, put that on the list, please, mate. Definitely put that on the list. Mika wants to know what hair products he uses. I want more insulting ones than that. There you go. Is Paul Alison Becker's Scouse brother? Says he screamed his name with his top off at one point. So that would be quite weird if it was his brother. But yeah, does you think he look? I don't think he looks like Alison Becker, but he's got nice hair, I suppose, like him as well. But yeah, let us know. Keep the questions coming over the next couple of minutes. Anything you'd ever like to ask the gaffer, please do let me know. While we do that, I'm going to bring up a little graphic on screen. I'm going to give Aaron the heads up that I'm doing it by talking for a little bit longer. There we go, Aaron. Hopefully I've stalled enough to let you guys know what's on our subscription service, Redmen Plus, this week. We are currently at Wednesday. There we are at 9 p.m. That is this show, the LFC Interactive Show. So as you can see, already this week, the transfer show went out on Monday, where the guys talked about Cody Gakpo, Mason, loads of teams and players. We also, what else? We had Expert Insight that went out on Monday as well. That was a great chat. We had the Tuesday podcast and Podcast Extra, of course. They were, again, 2 excellent shows. Podcast, that's on the YouTube channel, and Podcast Extra is the stuff that we can't put on the YouTube channel. We're not allowed because we might get cancelled. I did mention before, by the way, that the Expert Insight on Monday, that was the one I was speaking about earlier with Josh Williams. That was that one, so I should let you know. Bring that back up for us, Aaron. I haven't finished yet. There's more to come. I've got Thursday, so tomorrow morning, Neil Jones is in for Journo Insight. Again, I'll try and get as much transfer information out of Neil as possible. You'll see a little clip of that on YouTube as well later on, a little part of the show. Paul, like I said, will be back at 9 p.m. with his interactive live show. On Friday, the Liverpool Library with John Williams goes out. Really good chat about John's book. Excellent there. Saturday, we've got another LFC Dream Team, another famous Liverpool fan picking their Liverpool Dream Team. Not their best Liverpool Dream Team, but their favourite players, that basically their favourite players they've loved watching. This, I can confirm now. I think it's Dom Byrne who's going out this weekend, so I think Dom's is going out on Saturday, and then Paul will be back on Sunday with the LFC Interactive Show. So that's what's coming up, and that's what's already happened this week on Redmen Plus. So get yourselves involved, get in there. While that's been coming through, let's have a little look. We've been doing a few more questions for Paul. I definitely want the hair transplant one, Aaron.
That's on there. There is a question. Do you like Steve or Chris more? I've put that on there as well.
Let's have a little look. Oh, he's going to pick Chris down. That's going to hurt my feelings. Who does Paul like more, Steve or Chris? From LSE Spectre, yeah. He's got to answer Chris. He's known him longer. And he's his business partner. So let's have a little look. What else we've got in there? Quadbod's got a nice one. Watch Paul's favourite type of content, interactive discussion, or the planned docs, etc. That's a nice, sensible question.
Shall I add that one in there?
And then Surab, again, will you do your famous celebration again if Alisson ever scores again? I think that's a good one. Right, do you want to set that poll up for us then, Adam? Please, yeah. Please. I know I'm not really meant to do these kinds of things, but please ask him about the hair transplant. If you can vote for that for me, it'd be interesting. I don't think he's had the hair transplant, I don't know, but it might be funny if you do it. So yeah, if I can get one thing off you, I can get a like on the stream, which you can do now. Hit that thumbs up button that is below you, and then get voting in the poll, which will you let me know when it's live, Aaron?
Yeah, it's about to go live.
It's about to go live. The tension is palpable here.
There we go.
There we go. It is live right now. LSE Spectre, does Paul polish his hair? He does this a lot. He looks up over there and then like flicks it back. He does that a lot around the office. That's me doing it with no hair. I am very much mimicking that one. And he does it from this angle as well, because he does it with like an upwards angle of his phone as well. But yeah, I don't know if he polishes it, but he does flick it a little bit though. So yeah, get yourselves voting. So yeah, thanks very much to everyone who got involved with the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I've had lots and lots of fun. Do keep voting on that poll for the next couple of minutes. I'm guessing is it battering it? Because Joe says stop the count.
It's 86%.
Get in, stop the count. Let's stop the count. Brilliant. That is exactly what we're going to ask Paul tomorrow. We're going to ask him about his hair transplant. So yeah, thank you very, very much. Hope you've enjoyed that show. I've loved doing it. Like I say, do get involved in Plus if you can. Help support everything we do here. When you guys sign to Redmen Plus, it allows us to do all this amazing stuff. And more importantly, you get some amazing content. You get features, documentaries, interviews. Liverpool aren't playing at the moment. If you want your Liverpool fix, we've got you covered. There's a whole back catalogue of documentaries. Like I say, the Hendo 10 is out there now. Story of a Crew, the Murals Guide, Craftsman of the Cop, German Scousers. My Liverpool debut is currently running. That series is ongoing right now, so there's tons to get involved in. So please get involved if you can and want to. We've got you covered every single step of the way. And more importantly, get yourself a pin on the board. Right then, thank you very much from me and from Aaron. We'll be back soon, but Paul will be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. and he will be answering the question about his hair transplant. Make sure you come back and tune in. I'll catch you all later, guys. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like more Redmen TV goodness in your life, then get over to redmenplus.com. Hours of content each and every single week talking about the one team that we all love, the greatest team in the land, Liverpool Football Club. There are annual subscriptions, there are monthly subscriptions, and they start at just £5 a month. It's a great deal. Get on it.